Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Eternal X Wolfpack Paranormal. And I am your host, Sean Ellis. Tonight, we have a great guest from Rawside Paranormal, Ms. Laura. She's sitting backstage here. But I'd like to make a shout out real quick to a few people here. Mr. Austin Light, he does comics for American Demon Comics. Definitely check out his comics. He does an amazing job. He actually sent me 3 copies of the first 3 issues, and they were really cool. So definitely check out Mr. Austin Light and the American Demon Comics. We also had Nathaniel Elwell. He has his book out. Definitely go check that out as well. He's part of the All Access Network Television. Check him out. And he does a lot of talking about debunking and apps on phones and stuff like that. So definitely check out that book as well. And another friend of mine, Mr. Matt Dills, he has a book out as well. Check this out, Nightmares and Stalking. I'm sure it's got a little bit about Bigfoot in there as well, because I know he's a big Bigfoot researcher. Definitely go check out Mr. Matt Dills and his new book as well. So let's get on with the show tonight, and we'll introduce from Rawside Paranormal, Ms. Laura.
Hello, hello. How are you?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
I'm hanging in there. Thank you. Thanks for having
a few
me.
Weeks. You're welcome. I know I've been on your show before. We've gotten to some pretty good discussions, so it ought to be pretty interesting tonight when we dig into the rabbit hole of things. And
just pick one.
Just pick one.
Pick one, and we'll jump in it. Hello, Susan. How are you? Just to let you know, love your intro. Very primal. Love it.
Yeah, she's got an awesome entrance. Yeah, definitely for sure.
Does.
Miss Susan Victoria is in the house tonight. Thank you for stopping in. And I know a couple of weeks ago you were pretty anxious and thought, well, dang, I'm going to be on Sean's shows next week. And it ended up being 3 weeks later.
Yeah, well, I was totally confused. My schedule is such a mess. So it's a good thing you told me, because I would have been thinking, okay, 3 times in a row. And then when you told me, oh, it's next time around, I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I know. I mean, as soon as you start getting busy, schedules get hectic. And then it's like, oh, well, wait, and then you just have that flash there, Then we have Miss Alicia McFadden's in the house. Thanks for stopping in. She is from Eternal Paranormal. It says, hi, Sean, stopping in for a few before my show starts. Have a great show, Alicia.
Oh, yes. Thanks for stopping in. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, I actually had a really good team up with those guys a couple weeks ago in Keysburg, Illinois at the Masonic Lodge. If you'd like to see some of the videos that we got, go check out the Eternal X Wolfpack Paranormal. And it's got from Haunted Happy Hour, some of the video that they filmed. Also from Eternal Paranormal, and also from Eternal X Wolfpack Paranormal is still up on there. If not, you might be able to catch it on YouTube as well from any one of those locations.
Nice.
So, yeah, it was pretty awesome. So,
actually, I'm supposed to have the ladies on. I think it's next week. I'm having them on.
Alicia and them, or the Haunted Happy Hour?
Yeah, I think it is.
Vanessa and
always had to check the calendar so I know who the hell I'm talking about.
With Vanessa and the girls, and Sarah and
Vanessa and Lily.
They are pretty awesome.
Oh, they're fun. Oh, excuse me. Tickle, guys. Really cool.
Alicia says, nice to meet you, Laura.
Yeah, nice to meet you too. Thank you for having out again, Sean. Oh,
yeah, no problem. I'm looking forward to this weekend too when we go to the Sanitarium of Souls. I think it's Sanction of Souls, SOS. It's October 4th. We'll be going there. I'll be teaming up with them guys again. So that ought to be really cool. So first thing, what actually got you into the paranormal, Laura?
Well, it started when I was about 7 years old, believe it or not. That was my first experience, or first known experience, put it that way. My aunt was a caretaker for a castle that we had here locally. It was called the Robinson Estate. Also, she used to be the caretaker with her boyfriend, and so we had the opportunity as kids to go and spend summertime there. And we would all take turns as kids. And I was there one weekend. My parents brought me in, and the weird thing is my father had just bought a new video camera. And so he started filming outside of the property. And this castle was a replica of one, the woman who owned it. She fell in love with a castle in Scotland. And so she had stones and stuff brought over from Scotland. And then she reproduced this castle here in Mohawk, New York.
Mm.
And so what happened was we were there. My father's filming all around outside. Everything was great. We go inside and he's filming all of the beautiful rooms and stuff on the inside. And so then when he got home that night, he was checking the footage and everything outside come out perfect. Anything that he filmed inside was totally black. Nothing come out. And he thought it was kind of odd because it was a new camera. He thought maybe something went wrong. So then that night when we went to bed, I was sharing a room with a couple of cousins, and it was really late. And the classic, the heavy footsteps, the sound of like rattling chains, it woke me right up. And I was the only one that got woken up. And I think, what the heck is that? So I run over, open up the door, and I'm calling out to my aunt, and my grandmother happened to be there that weekend. Nobody answered me, but I could hear the footsteps coming. So, of course, being 7 years old, you pretty much shit yourself. I closed the door, ran, tried to wake up my cousins. Nobody would wake up, which was really odd. I couldn't get them to wake up. So I just jumped back into the bed, covered up my head because, you think, 7 years old, the blanket's going to save you.
Right.
And I heard the footsteps coming, and they stopped right at the door. So, I was in a panic. So I'm like, oh, God, well, eventually, it was quiet, and I ended up falling back asleep. So in the morning, I had mentioned it to my aunt and my grandmother. Were you guys walking around last night? And then my aunt started to laugh and then proceeded to tell me the story behind the castle. It is cataloged in the history books that it is haunted by the poltergeist of the woman who owned it.
Huh.
She owned a place in New York City, but her passion was this castle. And she told them when she passed away, she wanted to be buried in the tomb in the castle in the basement.
Mm-hmm.
Well, guess what? They didn't do it. They buried her in New York City. So it's cataloged that, she is the one that would walk the halls of the castle at night. There's also been an apparition of a young girl and a couple of other apparitions that show up through the building. And come to find out that down the road past the greenhouses is a private cemetery. Well, she was friends with President Roosevelt and his family. Well, President Roosevelt has some family members that are buried on that property. So last year I figured, well, I'm going to revisit because after the years had gone through and the property had changed hands, the castle fell into ruin, which was really, really sad. I was really hurt by that because they didn't take care of it. So the last photographs I got were, the rubble and stuff. You guys will see them. I have them on my page. But this last year I went to go and I wanted to do a session there, see if I could pick up any EVPs or catch anything. Somebody bought the property and fenced off the entire thing. You couldn't even pull in the driveway.
Wow.
The road that led to the house, it's all just fenced off, even electric fences. So what I'm thinking is that they might have turned it into a marijuana farm.
Oh, wow.
Because why would you have electric fences on just regular farm property? And
I've seen them use hot wires and cattle before, but
I don't know. Yeah. We didn't see any cattle. So, but there was plants and stuff all in the front where the road used to be. And then I heard through, resources that they tore down the rest of the castle and filled it all in. So it's gone. And it's really sad because nobody can get to the old cemetery that's back there now.
Right.
So that probably won't be taken care of either. So, but that was my very first, experience. And ever since then, I've had, as I grow, I was having experiences, as time went on. And then I just said, well, I've got to find out why this is attracted to me, why it's going on. And here I am today, over 20 years later.
So, as you start to grow, did people look at you different when you started talking about some things like that?
No, because everybody in my family has had their own share of experiences. And we also have on my father's side, my grandmother and him, empathic, very empathic people. So, and I am as well. So it was welcomed in our house. We would discuss it. If something happened, then we would discuss what happened, what was going on that day. And and I never really had any issues of anybody judging me for what I did or what I've experienced. So I was lucky.
Well, that's good that you were able to talk to other members of your family that were like you and be able to feel things like you do.
Right.
One of the questions that always goes through my head, even though I'm not like a counselor or anything like that, but do you think some of the empathic abilities that people have is what causes a lot of people's anxiety, that they don't understand that that's what it is?
Well, yeah, because you have to, remember, we feel everybody's energy, everybody's emotion. So I can't go places where it's overloaded with people, because then, anxiety sets in. And I start, the way my anxiety, it triggers anger. If I'm in an overcrowded space, I get angry. And if somebody comes at me, I lash out.
It's kind of like a panic mode.
It's so I know that when I start getting that feeling, I tell my husband or whoever I'm with, I've got to get out of here. It's too much. And it's like an overload. That's why I don't go to like malls. If the grocery store is busy, I don't go in. Hello, Miss Carla. I have friends that wanted me to go to New York City. I said, what are you, crazy? I wouldn't be able to survive going to New York City. It's too congested, too many people, too much going on. And, a lot of people have the ability to shut that off. That's great. But then a lot of us can't. No matter what you do, it's just an overload no matter what you do. So we avoid it. And so it's always small groups, and stuff like that. Or if it is a large group, we're usually the ones that are off to the side, in the corner, so that, we're not getting a full brunt of everything that's going on.
Right. I actually got a friend, she's got anxiety, and I'm going to start working with her a little bit and doing some Reiki work and some energy work with her, and kind of asked her if she would be my guinea pig, so maybe I can come up with some different answers, or maybe she can come up with some different answers. But I know one time that when I was over there just recently, she had a really bad migraine starting, and I did some Reiki work on her. And by the time I got done, she said it was gone. So it's going to be kind of interesting to be able to see how she reacts with the Reiki and the energy work, and to be able to adapt, because she does get anxiety and she does get a little bit out there once in a while. But I mean, it's within reason. And I noticed a lot of people that I am around, you can feel their heart rate going up really quick, or that energy level. And then when you say, do you have anxiety? And they look at you like, how do you know? Because you can feel it. You can feel it when it jumps up.
Actually, and sometimes you can hear it too. Where my hearing is very sensitive, so I pick up on that. Like, I know when my husband's having an issue, I can hear it. And it's weird, but it does happen. Also, which I'm going to check into the Reiki, because I had discussed this with you before about how my hands are always hot.
Right.
And my husband, hey, don't touch me. You're hot. You're hot. My palms are always hot. And when he's sitting down somewhere, I'll come up behind him and then I'll touch him. And I run my hands on his back, and I can actually feel me sucking the energy out of him. I say to people, and they look at me like, what are you smoking? But my husband will yell at me. He goes, stop sucking me dry, is what he says. Because he can feel it leaving his body. And I can feel myself being recharged by taking what he's got. So I
Oh
don't know
yeah.
if I'm an energy
So
vampire
you're
or what, but
well. You can manipulate. You can manipulate energy like I can, and reallocate it. I should say. Alicia McFadden's asking, "Where are you from, Laura?"
I am from central New York. I'm at the foothills of the Adirondack Mountains, if you guys know where that is. Excuse me.
She says, "Have you have healing hands?" Is what she
Uh,
says.
yeah, because if I do touch, like I even on myself when I've got something that's hurting and I just lay my hands on it and I could just feel the heat penetrating back into my own body and it does feel better. But
Mm.
it's a lot of people, yeah, oh my God, your hands are hot. They're always hot. There's
Yeah.
nothing I can do about it.
I know I've been around people and they said they can actually feel the energy that I give off. Either it's hot or it's cold. And I actually was working with Alicia there at the Masonic Lodge, like she said there, and helped her out. Because Alicia and I were former team members on the old team. So we
Right.
went back a little ways. So that's why we get along. And, she's pretty awesome with what the things she can do as well. So, but I'm always asking questions. And like I said, they actually got some pretty good footage. Haunted Happy Hour did of me working and doing some energy work with one of the guests we had there at the Masonic Lodge that night. And it was actually pretty interesting seeing that
Yeah, that
with
sounds pretty cool.
with the heat being able to transfer from that camera they had, because they had a pretty expensive camera there that night that was able to do that. So
Well, the last time that you and I spoke about energy transfer and stuff, when you told me to do the trick where you put the one hand up and the other hand out and you blow into, and I was like, oh my God, that actually does work. I felt it. So I never thought of that. So that's what made me, I'm thinking, I'm going to look into Reiki and see how the process is. And because, maybe there's something to it. Maybe I do have healing hands. I don't know.
One of the things I did with one of the guests we had at the Masonic Lodge, I said, hold her hand up like that. And I said, put one in front. And I said, put the other one out. And I was actually blowing into my hand. But when I was pointing my hand the way it was, because it was my left hand and I put my right hand, she could actually feel it coming through her left hand from what I was blowing into my hand and transferring back and going across.
Yeah, that's wild.
So energy is pretty interesting on how to do it. And I think, like I said, there's a lot of questions I still have, and I have a really good mentor, that has taught me well. So the receiving hand and the giving hand. Yep. The receiving hand is the left hand. So, but yeah, unless, who knows, you might be right-handed. It might be just the opposite, because I've never ran into an opposite yet.
No, I'm a lefty.
Oh, you are a lefty?
I'm Gemini and I'm a lefty.
Ah, and it works the same way for you then, huh?
So yeah, it's I probably get, either hand. Same thing with writing and stuff like that. I could use either hand. Yeah, and then the funny thing is that when this is kind of is odd, is like when doing sports, I do a lot of outdoor sports, so it's like shooting a rifle or a bow and stuff like that. I do that all right-handed, but eating and certain things, it's left-handed. I have a certain hand I use for certain things, and it's just the way it works.
That's interesting.
Yeah, all sports is right-handed. It's really odd.
But it's cool to be ambidextrous. That's definitely a good thing to be. Hello, Chris. How are you tonight? Thanks for stopping in.
Hi, Chris.
But yeah, that's definitely interesting. So
I always tell people, because I'm Gemini, you never know what you're going to get from one moment to the next. So it's more than just two; it's multiple.
Right. Yeah, because even with my daughters, I know Gemini's the split personality and being able to do things. I mean, my daughters are Libras and they're at the balance, and they have stuff that they have going on with them, and they have the anxiety and stuff like that. And I wish they would sit down and listen to me a little bit and see if we can figure out some of their stuff. But they're kind of that stubborn. How do I say? not teenagers anymore, just a little above teenagers, and they just
well, they know everything. You know how that works.
definitely so. We're talking a little bit about Reiki and energy right now, and some of the stuff. Have you ever encountered anybody that you've been out on an investigation that does with Reiki and stuff with the investigation?
No, never.
Never. I know when I'm out, I always find it interesting to be able to combine the two with the Reiki and the energy with the investigation, because you can feel what's going on there, definitely, for sure.
Right. Mostly, yeah, when I would go out with other people, and I would be the one that would say, walk in and I could feel, oh, this room is very heavy, or something's going on here, where they wouldn't pick up on anything. So I don't know. Like I said, it's just maybe just who I am, and I don't know.
Do you have any particular way you prepare yourself before you go out on an investigation?
Just, I say some prayers to myself, just knowing that, I believe in God. I know God's with me, always with me. So he's my protection no matter where I go.
Mm-hmm.
And I just, give myself up to him before each investigation, and just ask for, safety for everybody in the group. And, and this is all done silently. And then we just do our thing, and I haven't had a problem ever.
Have you ever worked with crystals in general?
Not really. I do have them. I have them out because I do tarot readings for friends, stuff like that, entertainment. And I do have them out as far as that, as cleansing and stuff like that. But as far as working with them, no.
Yeah. Chris Max says he can feel energy through the phone. Actually, you can feel energy through a laptop or anything else as well.
Yep.
We've actually done some experiments on stuff through laptops from everybody doing a different location before, and using pendulums. And that was pretty interesting, the result we got with that. But
actually, I'm in the process of doing more testing with my pendulums.
So have you got a pendulum stand, I'm sure, right?
Yeah, one that I made. And I find that when I use it, nothing happens.
Nothing happened. Have you ever just sat there and let it hang and tried to use your energy to move it in a different direction?
Nothing happens. As soon as I'll take, and I've done this, I've got to record it so everybody can see. As soon as I have it on the stand, and I'll wait, and I'll do, ask questions and do whatever, and it does not move. The minute my fingertip touches the chain while it's on the stand, then it starts moving.
More of a direct connection instead of.
And it's not just, and it's not like it's just a little tiny move. I mean, it actually does its thing.
The circle, the big loops.
Everything does everything, just with a single touch of my finger. So I found that to be very interesting.
Well, it's something you have to experiment with more and see what the difference is and why it does things different. Because some people, like I said, I can just hang them and they'll start doing that little circle thing when I get next to them and start just kind of playing with them.
Right.
Also, we've taken dowsing rods. Have you done anything with dowsing rods?
No, and I thought about getting those and testing them as well, because a lot of people are talking about them. I know a lot of people have used them and had great results. I know a lot of people that don't believe in them whatsoever.
Oh, they work.
So it's, hey, I expect, respect everybody's opinion, but it's still good to test it. I always tell everybody, please, just, even though I'm not a big gadget person, but if you got it, use it, test it over and over and over, and document the data, because there's going to be that one time something's going to happen and you're not going to know why.
Exactly. I mean, dowsing rods have been used for hundreds of years in some aspects to be able to find water the way they cross. Me and my former team member, we were at Broadhead Manor one time, and we actually went up there to visit Alicia and her team up there when they had their first open house there. And she pulled out a pair of dowsing rods, and she was sitting there playing with them, and she would get them to cross like they were supposed to. And I said, I'm curious. So now I'm going to mess with them. So I sat down in front of her and I kept taking my hands and doing this. And I got them to follow my fingers. And she was just holding them. And then I said, all right, let me hold them, because I want to make sure if it's just me just doing it or what the case is. So we're trying to debunk why they were doing them. Right. So I was holding them loosely in my hands. And I know that she's capable of doing what I was doing with the energy. So I was holding and she was making them do the same thing. So I sat there for a little longer and I was like, okay, now I'm real curious. I said, don't tell me what you're thinking. I'll think what I'm thinking and see what happens to those rods. Well, then the rods kept doing this. So then I said, what were you thinking? She says, I wanted the rods to go out. And I wanted the rods to go in. So they were just repelling each other.
Okay.
and like I told her, I said, don't tell me what you were thinking at the time, because I wanted to see exactly what happened. And I actually did that experiment with a young lady there in Keysburg, Illinois. When we were there at the Masonic Lodge, she actually had a pair of them. And I showed her that same type of scenario, and she looked at me like, wow, that's kind of crazy, but it's weird. And she thought it was weird that she could feel that energy between me and her as well, being
right.
They're transferring energy and stuff as well.
So yeah, it's good.
And Alicia and them, because it used to be a brothel there where the Masonic Lodge was as well, and got it on an SLS where they were getting the lady to dance for them.
Right.
So it was interesting. They definitely got a lot of evidence out of that location, the Masonic Lodge. It was definitely an interesting with all there.
It's great when you have a bunch of stuff going on. I know somebody that.
So what is your go-to? What is your?
Oh, we just lost him. Oh no, we lost the host. So hopefully everybody's still there. You want me to keep talking? I will. Otherwise, I could just sit here and smile. It's up to you guys. He was asking what my go-to was. I'm old school, guys. Old school all the way. Just a camera and a digital recorder and pen and a pad. I find it's the best way to record data. And I don't call it evidence because it's not proven in my eyes. So it's data. So hopefully everybody can still see and hear us. I don't know. The rods I have a hard time believing in, because think of this. What if the wind is moving the rods? But if people have luck with them, no complaint. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. I've never used them, but I've seen a lot of people do their experiments with them. It can't hurt to experiment. And, like Sean was saying, they've used them, for hundreds of years. And it's not like everybody knows where water is all the time. So there has to be some kind of validity to why they can detect the underground water. So that's why I always encourage everybody, please experiment. Do your experimenting, do your testing, document the data. And then when you go back, and you do it several times, you go back, then you can refer back to old documents and compare notes. And then you'll see that maybe there might be a pattern. So, oh geez, I hope he comes back. Yeah, it's very important to collect the data, and a lot of people don't write stuff down anymore. Well, I've got it on video. Yeah, well, video isn't always reliable. Pen and paper is. There he is.
You still there, Laura?
Yes, I am. I've been holding down the fort.
Yeah. I actually switched over to the hotspot on my phone, so hopefully we won't have another issue. That,
All right.
like I said, we've been having some technical issues with the connection here, but I'm going off my phone now with the hot. I know I just asked for it before I got cut off. What's your go-to equipment?
Well, I was just telling everybody my go-to is pretty much just my, my instincts, my gut feeling, just a regular camera, digital recorder, pen and paper. I find that simple is best. That's for me. And like I was saying, everybody telling me that, not a lot of people record everything down with pad and pen, but you should. I really think you should, because when you return to these locations multiple times, it's an easy way to reference and catalog that data and then compare for each visit. I get a lot of people, I got it on video. Well, no, video isn't always reliable. The notes are easy to refer back to, right there on the spot. You got your notebook and you'll say, oh God, well, this happened at this time. This was going on. And then you flip back the pages and you say, yeah, similar at this date and time. So I think it's important that, like I said, and I don't call it evidence because it's not proven. So that's why I always, consider it data, information. Until we can actually prove 100%, I don't call it evidence. Right. Because it could be evidence that, something squirrely was going on that day.
It's like an experiment.
Right.
It's like an experiment, trying to understand what it is and why.
Exactly. And you got to, like I said, and I always talk about, you can't do it just once.
Here.
Not one time for an hour or two and then, you're done. No, multiple times you've got to go to the same place.
Still there, Laura?
Yeah. I'm here. I don't know if you can hear me. You're frozen.
I don't know if it's me that this took off the phone here.
You have audio, but your video is frozen.
Let's see. This time it might be Laura. We'll see here.
I don't know. I'm clear on my end. What do you guys say? Let us know. Feedback, please. Give us some feedback.
We're having a lot of internet difficulty. Let's see what happens here.
Isn't technology great, guys?
Are you back?
I've been here. I didn't go anywhere. You're frozen.
Was it me this time or was it you?
Yeah, it's you. You're frozen. We've got your audio, but your picture's frozen. Yeah, Susan said that I'm clear. So it's
this problem.
It's your internet. I think you better get back on the phone and talk with them again.
Yeah, like I said, I'm getting new one. I'm getting new this week, so all that'll stop for
hopefully.
Sure. I'm going to bring up StreamYard on my phone here just in case it happens again.
Yeah, Susan says you're frozen on her end too.
But, I'm trying to bounce it off my phone this time, so we got it. So, but yeah. So am I still frozen?
Yeah, still frozen. You're an ice sculpture.
Okay. Am I still frozen?
Oh, now you're moving again. Oh, then it stopped.
Let's see, I'm going to leave studio.
Oh, now he's gone. Oh, now he's back. Thank you for joining us for Internet Games. We're taking bets on how long Sean will be frozen. Oh, and he's booted out. The gremlins got him. Oh, no. So, I feel bad for him, and we've all been through it. The internet is, supposed to be helpful. I think it gives more of a pain in the ass than anything else. especially when you're trying to do live show. So how's it going, Susan? I know. Here I am. Here I am. And it wouldn't have helped either if I just did it from my channel, because he still would have had the same issues. Seeing he's having internet issues there. But hopefully his provider said they're putting in new stuff. So he should be good to go soon. The internet sucks lately. Oh, yeah. It does. And where I am, there's a high usage of it. So that's why sometimes I have glitches on my show. Excuse me. But at least it's clear. You know, it might go out for a couple of seconds, but, you know, it's just, you know, the energy from everybody using in the area. It used to be a real issue when the hospital was open up the road from us. But that's calmed down since they moved the hospital. Sean always has issues. I know, poor guy. He's always fuzzy and glitchy and frozen. And like I said, if we did it, you know, just from my channel, he still would have had the problem. So it's not the streaming service. It's just his internet connection altogether. And it's still buffering, Sean. I'm here. We're here for you, Sean. Send good energy to his internet. But he's still in the house because he's changing the messages on the screen. There he is. Unfrozen. Oh, booted again. I got to stop getting excited every time he pops on screen.
There you go. Am I back?
Oh, there I am.
Yeah.
It's clear. Just leave it.
It's acting out big time.
You're stressing it out.
It'll get resolved this week when I get my new update to fiber optic. The last 3 weeks I've been struggling, and heck, last weekend I had to go to a certain location and use their internet just so I could have the show last week because it was that bad.
Oh, that's just awful. They better give you a discount for all of this interruption.
Well, I hope so. Like I said, it's getting to be a little ridiculous on how it is.
Right.
No,
just like I was telling, you're frozen again. I said it wouldn't have made a difference if we did it from my channel because it was still your internet. So it wouldn't have been any different. Have somebody stand outside the room with an antenna and tinfoil. Maybe that'll trick will work.
Did I come back on?
You're frozen, but you have great audio.
Oh, well, I got audio. I'm going to try to switch over to my phone here. If I can get...
Hello, Brandon.
Yeah, hello, Brandon. Brandon will be on next week, Mr. Cooper.
Nice. Sean's having technical difficulties, Brandon. He'll be with us in a second.
Yeah. Like I said, as long as you can hear me, that's a good thing, I guess.
Right. Of course,
like
you guys in the chat can ask questions too, if you'd like.
So, but I'm going to try to...
Until he gets it figured out.
Has anybody got any questions for Laura tonight?
I can answer them to the best of my ability.
End up hopping on my phone here. So, but yeah, I was hoping that we wouldn't have any issues tonight. That's for sure. And
hi, Maddie. Hello. Susan's got a question for me.
Like I said,
Laura, where would you
always
love
count on the
to
internet anymore?
No,
especially
we can't.
in this place.
Where do I love?
Maddie Pasquez.
Yeah, Susan wants to know where I love to investigate. I used to like to.
Why can't you? Where would you like to investigate? You can say it.
Well, no, I used to do residentials and stuff like that, but I don't do those anymore because it's just too extensive, too long term. Abandoned is very far and few between because of legality issues here in New York. I mean, they're very serious when it comes to trespassing. So I mostly do cemetery work now. And but where I would love to investigate, I would love to be able to go to the UK just because of the history. Each building, each rock, each speck of dirt over there has huge history. And I would just love to get my hands on it, just touch all the buildings and and I'd just pick a spot and go. Not one specific place, but just in general, yeah, the UK. It'll never happen because I don't fly. So. Actually, my husband and I actually were just talking about going to Gettysburg, but he didn't realize how long the trip was from where we are, and I can't stay long in a vehicle, so it's very uncomfortable for me. If I could survive the trip, that's where I'd like to go. Oh no, Gremlins again got Sean. If I could get away with it, anything close by, yeah, would be probably Gettysburg. Yeah, see, I got to drag you with me, Susan. We need to go. I'll just have to have my husband. We'll have to make up like a bed in the back of the truck for me to lay down. I could survive the trip that way. It's just like I'm so jealous of Susan. She'll be going to Salem soon. That is going to be an incredible trip. I look forward to being a part of that, even if it's going to be via video. It's okay. I'm all right with that. Any other questions anybody has to ask? I don't mind answering as long as as long as I've got the information, I'll do it. Of course, a lot of people are probably like Sean said, I forgot it's football night, isn't it, guys? So you guys are all watching football. Yeah, with the Gettysburg thing, my husband just got done watching a thing on Gettysburg and some paranormal experiences that people have had, actual interaction with some of the war heroes. So, which that would just be the most best thing. Question: what inspired you to have your own show? Well, what inspired me is that because I'm limited now in mobility, I figured I wanted to share what I've experienced with others so that they, new and upcoming paranormal investigators could learn. Plus, I also wanted to learn from others. I wanted us to share experiences and information with each other. My show is basically a learning experience, and that's why I bring out people from all over the world, if possible. And I interview them so that we can also share in their information and their experiences. And that would be the same reason why I started the magazine, so that everybody could send in their stories and their experiences so people could read them and learn from them is true. And for the name.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can, sir. Oh, and you wanted to know what the reason for the name of my paranormal group? Rawside Paranormal. Raw stands for real and wild because I don't edit, guys. Hate editing. Don't want nothing to do with it. So when I put out a video, it is just as I filmed it. I just download it on the computer and put it out. Same thing if I go live. It's right there in your face, and that's the way I prefer it. So you know what I know. You see it as I see it. You experience it as I experience it, and that's just the way I love it. Raw and in your face.
All right, I'm on my phone now, so
There he goes. All right, Maddie
So
says,
hopefully
any
that.
unique cases? I did have one unique case that was local. It was a residential. I kind of have to skirt around a lot of it because it's residential. And I don't share that kind of thing. There happened to be it was a young couple that lived in the home, and there was an incident where the young father had ended the newborn child's life
Well, that's
in
not cool.
in a violent manner. And so I went in there with a team of people, and as soon as we got in, yeah, you could feel just the anger and the sadness at once when you were in there. And as we were sitting there, one of the team members actually had an experience that was extreme, just uncontrollable sadness, and it was a really awful and shaking. So he actually had to leave the home. So that was one unique case where, yeah, it was actually, I believe, and then you would hear the crying of the child. So it was the child, I think, coming through and went for this specific teammate because they were opened for that energy is the only way you could explain it.
So how did you end up dealing with that overall then?
I mean, we cleansed as best as we could, and left it open for if they needed us to come back. But come to find out, what they ended up doing is they moved. I mean, naturally, the father ended up going away because of his crime. But yeah, the mother and the grandmother lived there with them, and they ended up just getting rid of the home and moving away. So I don't know where they went to or whatever, but I mean, after we went through there and did what we could, we really didn't hear much from them anymore. So I don't know if it followed them or not. I mean, if it did, we probably would have heard something. But I think they left it. Right. Whatever was going on was left there in the home. I mean, yeah, I can't go into detail because it was just it was awful. It was violent, quick, and awful, and he got what he deserved. But unfortunately, I think that that energy is still in that home. It's hard when it's something like that, and like I said, it was a new baby, so it doesn't know what's going on or what happened, or so it's kind of trapped,
Right.
Oh, thank you, Susan, for sharing that out. The last experience I had, I mean, I've had experiences in my own home.
Yeah, we definitely experienced like young kids.
Right. It's very difficult when the kids are involved. So, I mean, I only take it if I really have to, but that's why I usually stay away.
Can you hear me, Laura?
Yeah, I can hear you. So yeah, I don't do those as much anymore. Okay. Again, like I said, with abandons,
just double checking.
I'm too old to be jumping
fences. My phone was even flashing.
So yeah, we're losing you. You're choppy on audio. The last case investigation I did was in an old cemetery. That was only just a few weeks ago. Where
it's no matter what internet I use in this area, it's bad.
Yeah, it's chopping up on you. As I was walking around filming and doing some EVP session, my hand was actually touched. The one holding the recorder, and I was looking right at my hand when it happened. Excuse me. So there was no bug. There was no wind. Because I even, pointed the camera at a flag saying, look, there's no wind. So whatever it was. But then I did notice in the still shots that I was standing behind a headstone, and you could see it was a large orb on the back of the stone. So I don't know if it was a legitimate orb. It could have been, could not. Or it could have been what touched me. I don't know. Like I said, I don't call it evidence. I just call it interesting. There must be a delay on Sean's end. Yeah, he's delayed and choppy. I'm so sorry, Sean.
A little bit. Like I said, I'm on. I, I'm on my phone now, and I still got bad internet.
Yeah, actually, it's worse now than it was.
It's just one of those things that I'm had to deal with, and like I said, hopefully this week it'll get resolved. I'm trying to get back into the laptop here and go back in. But we were definitely reschedule you, and we'll continue this. Sorry it happened tonight that we're having such a technical problem.
That is okay.
But we will definitely reschedule you to come back on the show, and we will definitely continue the conversation. So, is there any place that they can?
Well, like I said, Susan posted my link for my YouTube channel. Guys, come on over and check it out. I do Wednesday night shows where I interview other investigators, also people in the community. I always have people come on that are just in the community and are very learned in the paranormal field. I also do a morning show 3 days a week called The Morning Brew. You're welcome to go check that out and join in. It's just all good fun. And I'm also on with Susan on every other Saturday, and I co-host with Susan. You can find me on Facebook. Also, you could check out the digital magazine that I put out for the community. That link is always posted in my posts on my YouTube page. The October issue is coming out the 1st. It's got some great stories from people in the community. And if you'd ever want to submit any artwork, stories, experiences, information, technique, whatever you want, artwork, recipes, send them into my email address, rawparanormal8.
Can anybody hear me?
At gmail.com. I welcome all submissions for the magazine. We could hear you.
Okay.
I'm just blathering away.
Well, like I said, I apologize for the technical difficulties tonight. Like I said, I've been having issues with this for the last couple of weeks, fighting with these guys, and it will.
And he's froze again. Damn gremlins. So yeah, if you guys want to come on over and check it out and join in on the chats, I would really appreciate it. You know, sub, like, bells and whistles, all that fun stuff. I also have a merch shop if you want to check it out. And let me know what you think of that. That would be great.
So.
And it totally just took him out now. Poor Sean. Actually, yes, we're going to be, we're planning a Halloween special.